All right, this is Jared Osborne. I'm going to call this meeting to order at time is it 5:03 on May 10th of 2024. In attendance are myself, Mia Young, Joey Bryant, Alice Williams, Xander Johnson, Lola Gallagher, Nicholas Vila, Aaron, and Yahir. I believe that's everybody. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that because I'm working off a tablet. Okay, cool. So next up, we have to approve our agenda. So I'm opening the floor for motions regarding that.
I'll motion to approve our agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, and hands for yes. All right, that passes. Next up, we've got same thing for the meeting minutes from last week.
Ooh, I'll motion to do that.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All righty, and hands for yes. And that passes. We are on to reports. I don't have any reports. Joey or Aaron, do you have anything to report?
The only thing I have, and I'll bring it up here, less of a report, but just I think for the point of us discussing, we're moving along. Today was kind of the deadline I had shared tentatively for supplemental requests to come out. As you'll see, we have two. Today we did receive one other that just came in today, and so Aaron and I have not, at least I have not, had a chance to review. So that may be coming up. Otherwise, as we start to kind of wind down, we have a couple things we'll touch base on. But the one part I did want to bring up, because we'll want to officially discuss, is it was mentioned potentially for next week's meeting on Friday to look at potentially having that as an in-person meeting. The part I want to bring up for you all is mostly to make sure that folks would be available. I don't want anyone to not be available. Again, we can add a virtual component, but those are always a little bit difficult if everyone else is in person, only one or two people are virtual within that. So wanted to propose that. I think the idea would be Aaron and I would look and find a location probably here in the Cirque if people are here in Ellensburg. And I think from before that was probably the case. And we can meet in person, gather a little bit beforehand if we wanted to, and then go through our meeting agenda at that point. And so we would still have the meeting minutes, the recording and all that, but I want to open that up. I know this came up as a discussion point a little bit last week, but I know not everyone was able to be here last week. So I'm kind of bending the rules of using my advisor report to bring up a topic. So feedback, thoughts, questions, anyone that would be an issue or concern for.
Yeah, you monster, how dare you? If you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, just feel free to open your mic and talk. It might get a little messy, but me trying to call on people from my position right here is going to be a little rough. So,
yeah, I have a personal note. I'll be volunteering at 5th grade camp for Valley View Elementary that day, and I should be back by the time our meeting is supposed to start, but in the chance I'm not, I won't be able to attend.
And with that, Xander, because I don't want you to be left out, would it be, you'll be back and would be available and so could attend in person, but if you're not back, you wouldn't be able to attend virtually either?
No,
I would
not.
Okay. So I think you should be back. Also have a great time at 5th grade camp. I got updates on that last week and this week. We have some volunteers here and I have a 5th grader who just went, so you'll have a great time.
Thanks.
Would anyone else have a conflict or be opposed to us scheduling the meeting in person? We would find a location starting next week, and so send that out in the meeting agenda. It would share with you the location, but if you all can, if it works, just mentally plan on, we'll be meeting in person at 5, somewhere probably in the Cirque. I think if we can't find a spot, Aaron and I can finagle something that would work.
We could also use the city government office.
That was one of my finagle options, Nick, if we needed to.
Definitely can.
But thank you
It's
for
probably more comfortable than the Cirque accounting office, but it's gonna be a last resort.
that was the other backup option.
That time should work for me as well.
Okay. Well, if there is anything, I mean, let us know if you all think of anything over the weekend. Send me or Aaron or Mia just kind of a notice saying, hey, I just remembered, no, I could only join virtually. Because again, I don't want anyone to feel excluded from it. Otherwise, it sounds like we're all good. And so unless I hear something by Monday, we'll proceed with finding a spot and then setting it as an in-person meeting next week. So, all right, that is all that I had.
All right. Nick, you got anything from ASCW?
Yeah, just a bit. Tomorrow, if you guys are in town, ASA is going to be holding African Night Awards Show. So they'll have dancing performances. It's going to be in the Cirque Ballroom from actually don't 4:30, and I forget when it ends, but it starts at 4:30. So if you guys are interested, it'll be a fun event. Other than that, S&A is still to be on the 22nd. Sweezy Day is going to be on the 23rd if you guys are interested. And yield the rest of my time.
Can I add a little snippet about ASA? So African Student Association is still in dire need of volunteers. I believe as of yesterday, they only have 3. This involves either setting up as well as taking down. And I know of this because my roommate is the president and he's voiced some concerns about volunteers. And if you know anyone or you are interested in volunteering, let me know. You can just shoot me a private message. I'll send you the sign up link for volunteering. Or I can send it to everyone if more than one person's interested, but just if you're available. If not, don't worry. Also good food, really good food, super good food. They've been preparing that food for days. And I will say, if you've never had African food before, you don't have a reason not to now.
Cool. Any other public comments? I'm skipping ahead. We're still on ASCW. So Nick, is that everything from you? Cool. Next up, we have communication received, which will be Joey and Aaron.
No communications.
Great. Public comment time. So this is the time to, speak fondly or badly about anything you feel that, deserves your attention.
I have something, just a reminder, please spread the word about student government elections next week. Opens at 8 o'clock Monday morning, closes Friday at 5 p.m. The link to vote will be posted on the ASCW website. It's through Presence, so there will be some QR codes around in prominent locations, some signs on the malls, and in addition to the positions, all the candidates, there's a referendum for a $5 quarterly fee for a green fund. So hopefully that also drives some interest for voter turnout.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to pay attention to because, we get our chance to throw our voices in there. Alrighty, any other public comments? All right, seeing none, let's move on to new business. Joey, I'm going to throw you under the bus on this. So let's start with 2409, which is the Publicity Center's request for summer intern funding in the amount of $10,000.
Yeah. And so you all have the materials, and I won't give too much on this because it's going to come up. Lola's here to present on it. And I guess I'll ask this because Lola, are you going to present one and then the other, or do it as a joint? I'm assuming one and then the other request.
Is it?
Oh, I think I froze.
Frozen?
You all are back now. There.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys all freeze too? Everybody froze on mine. Okay.
Oh, so I thought it was just my end. I was like, maybe they're also talking. No, we made it to the point where it was like, are you going to? And you started to ask something, Lola, and then it froze for
Well,
everyone.
they're somewhat connected, which is why I put them both in together. So I don't know if you have a preference. If you want me to do them separately, I can, and then just talk about the connection, or I can just go from
I mean, if
one.
you want to, just for the sake of it, I mean, and I'll let you go into, but really these are two requests. I mean, you all have the materials sent out to you, but really requesting supplemental funding, both from the Publicity Center, one specifically to assist with the hype production costs, and one to assist with funding for summer intern staff support on that. So with that, I will turn it over to Lola. And really, Lola, as you know, typically each request has 10 minutes to present and then 10 minutes of Q&A. Knowing you're going to kind of blend them together, if you want to present both of them together and then open it for questions, we can on that side. So I'll let you kind of decide if you want to do questions and then the other one or not, but I'm turning it over to you.
Okay. And I didn't prepare like a PowerPoint or anything. I feel like these are pretty direct, and I'm happy to answer questions, of course. So the first one on the assistance with funding staff for the summer. Just a quick little background on this. We did, for quite a few years, we worked with some departments that actually paid for internship costs. We worked on projects that are no longer housed in our area. So during the many years that we did have those projects, we also started developing this quarterly hype publication, which goes out. The first one is developed over the summer. So what we have found is last summer we spent probably, I don't know, at least $15,000 on student staffing. And we were not able to make up through revenue those costs. We did charge for services, as you know. We have done that traditionally, but I guess the point on this request is because our funding is reduced, it just becomes a matter of having to make a hard decision about where we can cut expenses. And there are really only two places. One is to reduce staffing, whether that's actual positions or number of hours. And the other is through our goods and services. And one of our major quarterly expenses is the hype publication. Are you all familiar with what this is? So this is the, this is the fall one, or I mean the spring one. The thing about the hype is that it is covers almost all of the events that are known at the time of publication for the upcoming quarter. So it's truly a campus-wide service that we provide. It also is written and designed by students in our office. It's during the summer, it's an awesome opportunity for interns who have typically not had an opportunity to work on a publication like that to do so. And it's also a great way for departments to prep for fall and then winter and spring. I think, like I said, the thing about the hype publication itself is that it's about $3,500 for printing. The price can fluctuate somewhat depending on the type of paper, the number of issues that we have printed, but at a certain point, you know, economy of scale in printing 500 more books is going to be $100 more. So it really becomes not so much how many are printed. And we always try to make sure that it's distributed widely. So I'm kind of rambling here. Sorry, folks. It's very warm in my office right now. So in short, this year we have only had interest from student interns. Only a couple people have reached out to us. At this stage of the game, we're probably only going to go with one student intern this summer and see if we have some staff who are available to come in during the summer. I put the ending date of this September 20th because we would actually like to do something which we've not been able to do before, which is bring staff back early to have a really good onboarding and training before the quarter starts. We're usually left scrambling the day before classes, trying to get everybody together, and it's just not a very efficient way to start off the year. If we can bring some people back a little bit early, then that will help sort of cover that gap from not having 2 to 3 interns, which is what we used to operate with. I'm going to pause if anyone has questions.
I'm good. Makes sense so far.
Okay. On the staffing part, I think I covered that pretty much. On the hype itself, in this request, I also included promotional supplies. So in addition to printing the hype book, we also usually do like a specialty sticker that is tied to the hype publication. And we do regular tabling events in the circ. We also attend certain events to try to get some more awareness about those events. Again, those are all for campus departments and student clubs and organizations. It's not about the publicity center or about hype. Hype is just sort of the vehicle that we use to sort of generate excitement and awareness about student activities and services. But all of this effort that goes out through hype is really on behalf of all the different departments that we work with. So I did include that. The supplies estimated at $400 per quarter. That covers stickers, tabling supplies, occasional little sort of fun giveaway type things. I also included $88.10, so that we could do a little bit bigger fun event with the Berg and have a live DJ at the event. And we'd like to do that at least once a quarter. We did do that in the past and it was super, super fun. More than just playing music, to actually have a live DJ there is really fun. The other thing on the supplies, for example, in the spring, we are not doing it this year, but in the spring we usually have do a student survey to get some feedback on what students think are working, how they find out about their events, how they prefer to receive their information. And with things like that, we usually have some sort of incentive type thing, like, you know, in the past we've done, oh, here you can have ice cream, take our survey and have some ice cream, or a popsicle or a drink or something like that. So we would like to bring that back just to have a little bit more incentive-based tabling type events, but you know, that all costs money too. And sorry, Jared, one more thing. The reason that I put these together is because the hype funding for at least the fall quarter hype, I mean, I'd be totally fine with making this a quarterly request to the committee, but we need to know about the funding for fall quarter hype. It is not in our budget. I had to eliminate that expense from our budget. And if we know if we have funding committed for the fall hype, that will be one of the projects that we have staff working on during the summer. And we'll also be able to put the call out for departments and student orgs to get us information so that we make sure that it's a nice, robust piece that is printed and ready to go before fall quarter starts.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone want to have a discussion, comment on this, do any of that stuff? Because I assume we're voting on it next week.
Yeah, Jared, and I realize I should probably, because you hear, I don't think we've had a supplemental request since you joined recently, so I forgot, and I apologize about explaining this process. So this is a reminder for hopefully most of you on this side, but really when we have supplemental requests like this that come up, they have the ability to come and present to you all on 1 week. And in that week, which is what we're doing right now, have the ability to ask questions of the presenters. We wait and deliberate and vote until the following week. 1, in case there's need for more information, but 2, because these are public meetings, to provide the opportunity if we receive any public comment in support, in opposition, any of those things, that those are all taken into consideration before we vote on it. So yes, if there's any questions for Lola about this in general, that's the point now. Next week, we will deliberate and then vote on the request itself.
So if you have any questions or would like to have some discussion, feel free to open your mic and go for it. If not, I'm going to wait a couple of seconds and we will move on.
I've got a question. Just to clarify, I want to make sure I've got it right. So if this funding request doesn't pass through, there won't be a hype booklet next quarter or in the future for budgetary reasons.
That is correct. Because what we have to spend on student staffing and goods and services next year is only $32,000. So we have to find ways to, and we're not going to generate revenue to fill that gap. So this is a big, I mean, a significant ask, and it gets us partway there. We'll still work to generate revenue and then try to come up with some other creative ways to cost share or find some other ways to make up some of that gap.
Thank you.
All right, I'm assuming that, sorry, I had some background noise. I'm assuming that that means that we're done with discussion. Please let me know if that's correct.
I do not see anyone else who appears to have any questions, Jared. So I think, yep, you are good.
Great. So Lola, thank you for that presentation. That was very informative. And we shall be moving on to old business, if there is any, Joey.
There is no new business. I'm triple checking that I'm not. Nope, there's no, I mean, no old business, no old business. Yep.
Okay, so there's no new business, no old business, no new old business. So we're fine. All right, and we're moving on to the second call for public comment. So once again, time for all of the sharing that you possibly can or not. That's up to you guys.
I just want to say that was a really good presentation, Lola. I usually don't like to comment on the way people present or the way that people speak, but I will say, as someone that does take the minutes and does try to take the time to summarize what everyone's saying, the speed at which you presented, in my opinion, was I was able to write almost everything you said, and I don't usually try to write verbatim, but I will say that as someone that writes the minutes, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank
I'm
you.
just gonna publicly comment that if you're doing a source presentation, that's a good thing to pay attention to.
I think the only other public comment I'll have beyond this, in just a general sense, is one. Going back to earlier, the weather's getting warmer, so everyone make sure you're taking care of yourself. Taking self-care as the quarter is getting more and more hectic and getting towards the end. So balance your classes as well as outside time that you may need or other pieces. And then also just either a friendly congratulations to those or a reminder to some that it is Mother's Day this weekend. So those who might be celebrating it, congratulations on that end. Those who may need a reminder to call or send a message or a card, this is a gentle reminder that it is this weekend. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week as well.
Yeah, you as well. All right, I believe it is time to do a motion for adjournment. So would anyone like to do that?
I'll motion.
All right, second.
Yeah, I'll second that.
It's just you, Alice.
Oh.
Unless that's not connecting back in. Okay.
Nick and you're here are still here.
Okay, good, that's good. Great, so that is it. I believe we are done. Mickey
Thanks,
arrived just
everyone.
in time.
Yeah, thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Again, if you have any concerns or conflicts with meeting in person next week, let us know right away. Otherwise, see you all in person next Friday.
There will be food, so you know that's happening.
Thank you in advance, Jared.
Thank you.
Bye.